News that's coming in at the moment. Details of the United States strike on the nuclear sites in Iran have now emerged. US's B-2 bomber jet set out for a 37-hour mission. Over 125 aircrafts and 7 stealth jets were used in this attack. US releases video of the jets dropping on the bunker busters. Now, this is news which is coming in from the United States of America. The B-2 bomber pilots were put to test. Now, these were the limits of human endurance during this 37-hour-long mission. 7 stealth bombers carrying 2 crew members each flew non-stop halfway across the world and back. Now, this is considered till now the longest air raids in modern military history. More than 125 aircrafts were used in this attack. The visuals that you are seeing on your screens coming in from the United States of America in human history, in modern warfare. This is considered to be the longest flight that one has carried. There were true crew members, each flew non-stop, halfway across the world and then back. Now, this is considered till now as one of the longest air raids in modern military history. More than 125 aircrafts were used in this attack, apart from the 7 bombers that flew east from Missouri's force base, and they struck Iran. This is a visual which is now being released by the United States of America. B-2 bomber pilots were put to test. The limits of human endurance were being tested in this 37-hour-long mission. Before and after images that you can see on your screens also have now been released by the United States of America. Now, what has happened in this almost 12-day-long war is that Israel on one side is saying that the mission was successful. There were celebrations that took place in Iran. The United States also is now patting itself on the back. The ceasefire announcement was done by United States President Donald Trump. And now the United States has released the exact moment when US had struck on the nuclear sites in Iran. Those are the details that have now been accessed. US's B-2 bomber jets set out for a 37-hour-long mission. Over 125 aircrafts were used and 7 stealth jets were used in this attack. The United States has now released the video of the jets dropping on the bunker buster. My colleague Rohit Sharma is now joining me from Washington. Rohit, we have now seen it's the US President Donald Trump patting himself on the back and saying that now there is ceasefire. But the ceasefire at the moment still seems very fragile.
Well, it does. The fact is he was very, very annoyed this morning. We saw him using colorful language as he did this morning, and he was very frustrated. He ended up calling Bibi Netanyahu after that and sort of said the ceasefire is in place. Now, we really haven't seen attacks after that. So one has to assume that both sides are, following the ceasefire guidelines for now. And we'll only have to wait and watch how long can that last for. He is, obviously, again, trying to make sure that he is in the spotlight. He remains in the spotlight. And he has announced once again that the ceasefire is in place.
What is your assessment? Do you believe the ceasefire actually will be will sustain? Because we have seen all the 3 parties involved now are patting themselves on the back. Israel is saying that this is a historic win. Iran says that they were able to make sure that they also hit back. And now the United States, and this actually will go down as one of the longest flights that anyone has taken, 37-hour-long flights that were taken from United States, hitting the nuclear sites and back.
Well, look, I think it was historic, right? I think the last one where the B-2 bombers were involved was the one when those came out to attack Afghanistan, right? And I think that was like 2001. So this is more than that. I think that was a 26-hour mission. This is a 37-hour mission. So yes, it is absolutely historic. To answer your earlier question, will this remain in place? I guess if the President of the United States cannot tell us that, I don't know who can, right? But I think the assumption is that both the parties should be willing to do this. And I think, as we said yesterday also on the broadcast, which is the fact that, all parties would be driving their message home. I think President Trump's trying to do that here in America. Iran is obviously going to, do what they were going to do is claim victory. And obviously Israel will also do the exact same thing. I think what we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens with Iran and how are they going to respond to some of this diplomatic pressure that will be on them. in coming days or weeks. I think that would actually tell us if they will be sticking to this ceasefire. There was a UN hearing today as well, where the envoy from Iran actually went ahead and said or announced in the UN that they are willing to work diplomatically. So we'll have to wait and watch, but all signs do point towards some ceasefire that could last for some time.
Thank you, Rohit, giving us those details. As my colleague was also pointing out, if not a long-term ceasefire, we could actually see all the sides calming down, at least for the foreseeable future. That's what the world also at the moment very clearly is hoping for.